K-pop. Demon Hunters stood out with a story full of action, magic, and unforgettable characters. But have you noticed that the movie also left behind a bunch of mysteries that still haven't been explained? Roomy's dad. One of the biggest secrets in K-pop, Demon Hunters, is this. Who is the father of our beloved Roomy? Half human, half demon, and 100% confused. We know her mom was a legendary hunter who suddenly fell in love with a demon. The result? A daughter who's half human, half darkness. And somehow, she still became a hunter, all thanks to Seline. Of course, fans, who never miss a chance to cook up theories, jumped on the idea, what if Roomy's dad is actually Guima? But director Maggie Kang quickly shut that down. She said the story isn't headed in that direction. According to her, Roomy's dad isn't the villain. He's some other mysterious demon, probably even more powerful, that we haven't met yet. She wanted to avoid pulling a classic Star Wars-style plot twist. But what if there was a twist? Can you imagine if Guima actually had a connection to Roomy's mom's past? Or worse, to both of their tragic deaths? That would be like a full-on K-drama with demon packs and an emotional OST. That would definitely break the internet. But that's just one of the many questions surrounding this universe. As fans keep digging, theorizing, and sharing their discoveries, the mystery only gets deeper. Stick with us now for another video! Jinu's mom and sister. Jinu gave up his family for fame, riches, and food. Yep, he hit the selfish mode button and started a new life, leaving his mom and sister behind. This part of the movie hits hard, but what happened to his mom and sister afterward? Luckily, we know their souls weren't taken by demons. In fact, they were rescued by the hunters and became some of the first souls to help build the Hanmoom. But then, they just disappear from the story. The movie never shows what happened next. It's like one of those lost TV episodes people swear they've seen but can't find anywhere. The most likely answer? They died from poverty and lack of basic resources, left behind in a cruel world. This was all way before the main storyline. After all, Jinu is over 400 years old. That's plenty of time to make mistakes, become a legend, and live with the guilt. Seline. As soon as Roomy finds out the truth about herself, she does what any main character with trauma would do. She runs to Seline for comfort. But instead of a warm hug, her adoptive mom is more worried about hiding the marks that are part of her origin. A bucket of ice water would have been more comforting. Roomy, of course, doesn't just sit there and take it. She speaks up. And even though she's shaken, after sweating, crying, and nearly breaking down, she decides not to give up. She faces her biggest fear and takes the stage with the other warriors. And after that, the movie never shows Seline again. What's even weirder is that there was supposed to be a second confrontation between them. Yep, they were going to sing together. But that scene was cut. And it's a shame, because maybe in that moment, Seline would have finally told the truth about what really happened to Roomy's parents. It could have been the missing puzzle piece, explaining all the trauma, heartbreak, and even some of those mysterious tattoos. Who knows, maybe one day we'll get to see that deleted scene. Is Jinu really dead? One of the questions that's been haunting fans the most is, did Jinu really die? Because, let's be real, nobody's ready to accept that the leader of the Saja boys is just gone forever. That would hurt more than your favorite K-drama getting canceled halfway through. Fans are totally in denial. And here's what we know so far. Jinu didn't actually die. He made a sacrifice. He gave up his energy and soul to save Roomy. Now, if there's a sequel and Jinu doesn't show up, well, the creators better get ready. Some fans are already threatening to protest. There's even a petition going around demanding the return of the audience's favorite demon. And honestly, they've got a point. Everyone wants to know more about this mysterious, charming, secretive leader. Before we go any further into the biggest mysteries of K-pop, Demon Hunters, drop a comment below. Jinu. Romantico and Baby. In the final moments of the movie, we see Roomy, Mira, and Zoe battling demons with light, sound, punches, and special effects that could make even anime jealous. But there's a duo that just vanished from the plot. Romantico and Baby. There's not a single scene showing the Huntrix fighting those two Saja boys. And of course, that set off every theory-loving fan out there. People started asking, Did they escape? Are they hiding? Were their scenes cut from the final edit? Are they still alive, just waiting for a sequel? A lot of people believe they got out on purpose, like strategically, and they're holding on to some valuable info for the next chapter of the story. Others think their fight scenes were simply cut during editing. But what do you think? Did they disappear because they were defeated off screen? Or are the producers saving them for an epic comeback in part 2? The Huntrix plane? Right at the start of the movie, we see the warriors flying off to a huge concert. All good vibes. Until chaos hits, the plane is being flown by demons in disguise, and of course, they sabotage everything. Their mission? Stop the girls from getting to the show. And did it work? Nope. Because, like true protagonists, they just jumped out of the plane mid-air and kept going anyway. But then comes the question, what happened to the plane? Did it crash? Vanish? Turn into some kind of underground tourist attraction? The movie never says, and you know that's all fans need to start spinning wild theories. One of the most accepted ideas is that the magical energy that shows up at the start of the big battle redirected the plane to another place, avoiding a major disaster. After all, if the plane had crashed somewhere and caused a tragedy, the movie would have shown it, right? I mean, they showed full-on bullfights. No way they'd hide a plane crash. So maybe the plane got pulled into another dimension, or maybe it was magically deconstructed with style, or maybe, just maybe, it's still floating in limbo, waiting for the sequel. The truth is, the fate of that plane is still a total mystery. But in K-pop, Demon Hunters, no detail is ever forgotten for no reason. The Huntrix's fans, here's a little detail that always gets people talking. In forums, on social media, even in line at conventions, why don't the fans have an official name yet? In a universe where every boy group, girl group, and even side villain has a fan base with a stylish name and matching emoji, this is definitely strange. Fans of other K-pop bands proudly go by iconic nicknames that turn into hashtags, slogans, even themed drinks. But Huntrix fans? They've got no name, no banner, just their loud voices and sparkly eyes. This came up during an interview with director Maggie Kang. She gave a very diplomatic answer. Yes, the team has talked about it behind the scenes, but they never came to a decision. Probably because they were too busy dealing with demons and shooting action scenes to settle on a fan club name. Meanwhile, the Saja Boys not only have a fandom name, it's one of the coolest ones, the Pride. It means a group of lions, and it screams loyalty, strength, unity, plus it just has that King of the Jungle vibe. But for the Huntrix, nothing. And honestly, that's a missed opportunity. Imagine the impact of an official name, something to unite all the fans, something they could print on shirts, posters, or regrettable tattoos your mom definitely wouldn't approve of. A name that would make haters tremble and demons think twice before messing with them. Age. Another topic that always sparks heated debates and plenty of wild theories online is, what's the real age of the main warriors? Fans want everything. Zodiac signs, birthdays, actual age, and even whether they've gotten their booster shots yet. The director finally gave a clear answer. Roomy and Mira are basically the same age, with just a 6-month gap. But the title of oldest goes to Roomy, who's between 23 and 24 years old, so she's the group's seasoned one, in both maturity and in throwing that classic judgmental look when things go wrong. Zoe, on the other hand, is officially the baby of the group, with her well-earned 22 years. And honestly, it checks out. She's got that chaotic energy of someone who drinks coffee and thinks sleep is a scam. She's young, intense, and the type who'd still post dance videos even in the middle of a demon invasion. In the end, the characters' ages just confirm what we already felt. They're powerful young adults with teen energy and full-on superhero-level responsibility. And now that we know how old they are we getting a surprise interdimensional birthday party episode soon? Hunters in other countries? The Hunters have one clear mission: protect the world with their music, creating the Hanmoom, a magical barrier that keeps demons from stealing people's souls. That part's pretty clear by now. But here's the big question. How are just 3 hunters supposed to protect the entire world? Are they really the only ones? Or could there be other hunters out there, scattered across different countries, maybe with different music styles, like reggaeton hunters, samba hunters, or even death metal hunters? This theory got stronger after something Seline says when she's putting the Huntrix group together. She mentions that they were responsible for protecting everyone, as in the entire planet. But how would that even be possible? The only logical explanation is that the demon attacks were happening only in South Korea, which, let's be honest, feels kind of small scale for an interdimensional demon threat. So either the writers are saving a huge reveal for the sequel, or they're hiding an international cast for a future spin-off. Just imagine, K-pop, demon hunters, Paris edition, with hunters who use classical music to exorcise demons. Whatever the case, fans want answers. Where are the other hunters? And if there aren't any, then it's time to expand this universe, because if the demons are global, the heroines need to be too. Souls. Another detail that got a lot of attention is how souls are stolen in the movie. It all starts when demons infiltrate the music industry through the Saja boys. At that moment, the mystical barrier known as the Hanmum starts to weaken, creating more and more cracks. That's when the demons strike hard, stealing more and more souls from people. And here's the creepiest part. They don't just steal the souls, they take the bodies too. People literally vanish into thin air, like they've been erased from existence. That brings up a huge question for fans. Once the Huntrix finally manage to restore those souls, will the people come back? Or are their bodies already lost forever? Most likely, not. And that makes everything even darker, showing that the Huntrix aren't just protectors, they're also dealing with losses that might never be reversed. K-pop. Demon Hunters left so many questions unanswered, it's basically impossible that we won't get a sequel. Are you already hyped for part 2? And if you're into Bluey and animated shows, we've got 2 awesome videos you'll love to check out. Thanks for watching! See you next time!